Mars has given us so much to think about in the last couple of years that it's hard to put it all together. From a barren and desolate planet, Mars has proven us that it's more interesting than we'd ever thought before. Mars is approximately half the diameter of Earth with a surface area only slightly less than the total area of Earth's dry land. Mars is less dense than Earth, having about 15% of Earth's volume and 11% of Earth's mass, resulting in about 38% of Earth's surface gravity. But Mars is extremely similar to Earth in many ways. Experts have proven that the red planet was once strikingly similar to Earth, having an atmosphere, lakes, rivers, and oceans covering its surface. Not long ago, NASA revealed that Mars could have supported life as we know it, but everything changed when the red planet lost its atmosphere. According to scientists, the slow destruction of our neighbor's planet's atmosphere was caused by huge rope-like tendrils of magnetic rotations. The red planet's once hospitable atmosphere was blown away in the distant past. This means that when Mars was much younger, it was much warmer and wetter, meaning that it was a very good candidate for life to develop. Scientists believe that Mars' oceans evaporated due to the planet's thinning atmosphere, which caused it to leak into space. Although Mars has no evidence of a structured global magnetic field, observations show that parts of the planet's crust have been magnetized, suggesting that alternating polarity reversals of its dipole field have occurred in the past. However, there are more things on Mars that have caused confusion among experts. NASA's rovers exploring Mars have noticed spikes in methane readings on the surface of the red planet. On Earth, 90% of all methane in the atmosphere is produced by living organisms. Curiosity captured traces of methane on the red planet, and scientists believe this could point to the presence of life on the red planet at this precise moment, although there are other possible explanations. But while Mars may not have life now on its surface, many scientists argue that in the distant past, the red planet may have supported life, and not only primitive life, but advanced complex life forms that may even have built structures on its surface. One such scientist is Dr. John, a plasma physicist who got his degree from UC Davis and who has seemingly had a distinguished career as a scientist, argues that Martian life was purposefully destroyed with nukes. In a scientific paper, Dr. Brandenburg argues that Mars shows, based on new data, evidence that during this period of Earth-like climate, biological evolution produced, at length, a humanoid civilization leaving ruins at several sites. Cydonia Mensa and Galaxia's Chaos being two sites most intensively investigated. Data from these sites formed the basis for the Cydonian hypothesis. Brandenburg, Di Pietro, and Molinar, 1991, of an ancient, indigenous, approximately Bronze Age civilization on Mars. And curiously, each day new images from Mars prove that there's something odd on its surface. In the last couple of years, countless images from Mars have been analyzed by alien hunters across the globe. Some of them, awkwardly, show what appear to be artificially made structures on the surface of the red planet. All jokes aside, some of the stuff found on Mars makes you think, what if somehow, life on Mars developed millions of years ago, and was eventually wiped out? Would we not find traces of such life today? Images beamed back by NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter show an area on the surface of Mars covered with odd structures. NASA's MRO captured numerous images of strange-shaped craters on the surface of the red planet. The images show a surface covered in secondary craters, but astronomers are mystified by how they developed their raised appearance. In a statement, NASA scientists said, secondary craters form from rocks ejected at high speed from the primary crater, which then impact the ground at sufficiently high speed to make huge numbers of much smaller craters over a large region. In this scene, however, the secondary crater ejecta has an unusual raised relief appearance like bas-relief sculpture. NASA has admitted it does not have a conclusive answer to this enigma. One idea is that the region was covered with a layer of fine-grained materials like dust or pyroclastics about 1 to 2 meters thick when the zonal impact occurred, about 1 million years ago. and the ejecta serve to harden or otherwise protect the fine-grained layer from later erosion by the wind, wrote NASA. In addition to the above image from Mars, other areas on the surface of the red planet show equally puzzling structures. UFO and anomaly hunters see these structures as conclusive evidence that an ancient civilization may have existed on the surface of Mars in the distant past. Located near Elysium Planitia near the red planet's equator are a series of structures that have sparked an online debate about ancient life on Mars. The controversial images were also taken by NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter M.R.O. If we search for further information about Mars, and the possibility that it was inhabited at some point in the distant past, we come across one of the most fascinating statements about the red planet made when General Stubblebine said, "There are structures on the surface of Mars. I will tell you for the record that there are structures underneath the surface of Mars that cannot be seen by the Voyager cameras that went by in 1976. I will also tell you that there are machines on the surface of Mars, and there are machines under the surface of Mars that you can look at, you can find out in detail, you can see what they are, where they are, who they are, and a lot of detail about them.